Hello and welcome to Group 4's presentation about Guatemala. Over 1 million Guatemalan people are living in the United States, making up 2.1% of the population. By 2010, the population had increased to over 1 million, which was a 180% increase since 2000. Currently, 68,000 people of Guatemalan descent are living in New Jersey in counties like Essex, Passaic, Hudson, and Union County. Our agency is located in Union County in Plainfield, where 42% of its residents are Hispanic, most of which are Guatemalan. Guatemalans are the youngest population with a median age of 31 to 32 years. The lowest median income per household is $50,000 compared to other races. 75% of Hispanic residents rent their property, and more than 3/4 of the population is foreign-born. Also, Guatemalan people have low educational attainment, with high school diplomas being the typical highest degree that they earn. The implications of these demographics are very important. Guatemalan people have limited education and limited income. You can see the cycle of poverty that we've included here to the right. More education equals more opportunity, and with lack of healthcare coverage, lack of high-paying jobs, and lack of educational opportunities, Guatemalan people are impacted in their overall quality of life, and their upward mobility is constantly challenged by institutional barriers. Some important cultural characteristics to understand are the duality of identity for Guatemalans, their strong values, and their traditions and religion. Though they are an ancient country with a lot of history and indigenous Mayan roots, they are strongly influenced due to Spanish colonialism in the 1500s, creating the group of Ladinos, who are westernized mestizo indigenous Mayas. Their language is primarily Spanish, with 60% of the population speaking it, but there are also 20+ indigenous dialects spoken by 40% of the population as well. Quiche is most common of these dialects and is now starting to appear in communities in New Jersey, especially in the school system in Plainfield. Cultural characteristics of this group also include food and agriculture, where Guatemalans typically make tortillas, rice, beans, corn, fruit, and tamales. Their religion is a huge part of their cultural identity, with most of it coming from Roman Catholicism as well as recent Protestantism. Roman Catholicism has impacted their celebrations and traditions, and their views of family, marriage, childbearing, sex education, contraception, and has also influenced their conservative values in relation to gender roles, patriarchal society, and the divide of labor between males and females. Additionally, Guatemalan people have faced a lot of political and economic instability, which impacted their migration and immigration patterns. However, this has tied their values to strength, family, and perseverance. Guatemalan people are very similar to other Latino groups in that they've experienced societal corruption and have strong family and community values. They also feel that living with their extended families is important, as is child care between family members. They strive for the American dream like other Latino groups, but are met with controversy, as you can see through the migrant caravan and rhetoric about illegal immigration. Like other Latino groups, Guatemalans are also very conservative in their values, which are closely tied to Catholicism. The differences, however, are that they have indigenous Mayan roots, and a lot of their values in terms of marriage come from them being a younger population, where the legal age to marry and arranged marriages have constantly been disputed. It's important to consider the following when assessing an individual whose background is Guatemalan. Immigration is a huge factor, as 2 out of 3 Guatemalans in the U.S. were born there. Also, it is important to consider what generation they are and their acculturation, as everyone is different even in the same family. What were their reasons for leaving? It was not until the 1990s that the Second Civil War ended in Guatemala, which left the country and its citizens in an economic disaster. How did they travel, and where did they travel to? Many immigrants coming from the Mexican border are Guatemalan, which led many people to settle in California and the Southwest. If they live in another region, they might not have as much support as they did back home, and as a result of the community makeup. It is also critical to understand how the current climate of anti-immigration is affecting them as well. As for socioeconomic status, 31% of Guatemalans live below the poverty line in America and come from the same economic crisis in Guatemala. Along with living in poverty comes lack of health insurance and resources, where over 45% of Guatemalans currently lack health insurance. Other factors to consider are age, gender, family makeup, marital status, religion, education, and language. Do they speak the language? Are they fluent in Spanish, or are they fluent in a Mayan dialect that we do not offer? In terms of planning community-based services, it's important to plan in the community with community leaders and to incorporate language. Does someone speak language or Central American dialects? More than one staff member who can speak the language is important. For a community whose formal language is not English, there is a high probability that there will be more people than one staff member can help. It's important to understand the religiosity of the community because the Roman Catholic Church is the ruling religion among Guatemalans. Their faith shapes their choices, and many bring their religion and form religious communities. Culturally competent workers are key. It's important to have knowledge in the heterogeneity, transmigration, acculturation, workplace, health disparities, social welfare, skills, and some knowledge in Hispanic values. Thank you.